I'm good. I'm Mistress Katarina. I'm our Guild Master of Garbers. These are like some of the clothing that you'll find. This is kind of feast into everyday garb for our guys. We also have tunics where I'm actually going to show how to do a T-tunic really easy. I also have like a printout, so that way you can make your own T-tunic if you want to come out to the park. This here, the dress, is what the ladies usually wear at court. This is kind of a court dress, and it's also a plain, so if she wants to dress down, she can just change and just wrap a regular belt around. I just constructed regular pants, and you can use like a pajama pattern. It's really easy. But we have a pair of pants called split pants, which most of our guys wear those.
Do you have an example of split pants?
Yes, I do. That's these here. And what it is actually two squares. You'll notice how they are here. What you do is you have your two squares laying on top of each other, and they'll look like this. You'll find your center of your fabric of your two squares. Your square, you want it as far as it'll wrap around where it'll meet here, and then as far down you want on your legs. So if you want them down to your ankle, you would measure down to your ankle. These are mine. I make these a little bit shorter because I wear boots that go over my pants. So you go to your center, and you'll go 6 inches out, which you have to make for you. You'll have to measure from like your belly button all the way down to here.
So this is your line in between your... Okay.
Yes. So that way, because girls, we can get away with 11 to a 12, but guys have to go 13 to 15 because of the anatomy of the person. So you would just sew here, and what I usually do is I sew it twice. And I do what's called a French seam in mine. You do not have, that's not required. That's a higher level seam. But you can do a regular seam, like what I did in these, because these here are going to have to be, they may have to be adjusted. I did a French seam on the center, so because that's where a lot of the pull's going to go. And then I did a regular seam, which I have to press. So that way, if they need to be adjusted, it's not that hard to add or take away. So these here, once you sew your U, you take them, fold them like this, and you have your pants. And they're real easy to put on.
Would you like to use me as an example?
Well, where is Eminem? Come here. Hello.
You get to try on split pants.
Hi. Do you remember how to put split pants on? Give me a second. Give me a second. I can visualize. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It feels like the most uncomfortable, like the strangest thing in the world when you first go to put them on.
This is the front, right? Yes, it's your front. So you pretty much, you take your front, and you'll sew ties on it like this here. And you'll tie it in the back. And then you reach under, and you pull. Make sure it's straight. Unfortunately, these are made for me, not for her. But, oh, a little tug right there. I actually do that, and they close. These are really great for winter because they're easy to layer under, and they're also great for summer because when you get too hot, you get overheated, you just open it up. We have some of our guys who want to go with like what I have. What I made here is what I have on, but all I did was shorten mine to where they come above the boot. It's real, and if you can't make yarn, you can always contact one of us in the guild, and we can help you. I actually teach to sew. That's one of the things that I was doing here today. They moved my tunic.
To be perfectly honest with you, see this one right here? Actually in the middle of making that right now.
actually a page number. There it is. This is a T-tunic. If you'll notice, it actually forms a T. Now, you don't have a neckline in it right this second.
And you know how we get the pattern for that? You know how we get a pattern for that? Take a t-shirt.
Yeah, so you take a t-shirt. This is actually being made for him. This is his t-shirt. And you lay your shirt down on top of it like this. And you kind of get where your arms are going to be. And you always go out about an inch to an inch and a half. Because this material doesn't stretch like the material we have today. So you have to kind of give yourself a little bit of room. Because if not, your shirt's not going to fit. So if it's a little big, that was the way it was back then. Form fitting wasn't in. Now also, the trick to actually do your neckline right is you cut a circle. You measure your head, and then you make a circle in that. The back part of this would go here, fold it over, and there's your neckline. And all we do is we cut that out. But you got to make sure you're centered. So you just kind of center up. That's your center. And you cut that. And you do the smaller in the back, so you'll know that's your back of your tunic and your front. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut that out. And what you do is make a snip, and then take your scissors, go here.
You go in between the fabric.
So that way you're not cutting a giant hole on both sides. And the good thing about a neckline, if something happens and your neck just isn't just as where you need it to be, you can always take it out a little bit. Just make sure to take it out evenly on both sides. Like this side. Flatten that down. And he plays a druid, so he wants, you know, like the softer earth tone colors. And this one here, he thinks this is like really awesome because it's got the weaving pattern. So, and the good thing about it is you end up, when you cut your circle, you end up two of them. So that way, if you lose one,
You're always making another one that's already
you always make another one. Because you always want to keep that neck pattern. And if you realize your neck needs to go out a little bit more,
Keep the next one.
keep the next one. So, what you do now that you have this, find somebody with a machine. We have a guy that hand sews.
Actually does a really good job with it, believe it or not.
He does a very good job.
Yes.
Yes. You'll fold it inside out where your right side is on the inside.
That's the part I wasn't thinking through when I first did it. That
Do
way
you
like
mind that I sew in green?
So what?
I'm going to sew in green. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
But you'll put your pedal down, and the way, and if you want, you can come over here and I can show you the machine. A lot of people get afraid of these things because of the way they run, but you shouldn't be afraid of it. You see here how we're doing the straight stitch? You would do a straight stitch, you would do this, and this is your backup. This gives back stitches. What that does is secure that stitch in so it won't come out. Then you just continuously run it down. And if you hit like a curve, put your needle down, lift up, rotate your fabric just a little bit. Don't ever pull your fabric, let your machine do the work. back like this to line it up. Would you like to try the other side?
Probably not. I don't want to. If I do it, I'd want to do it at home.
When I first tried, I was convinced that sewing was the devil's magic.
I had to back in middle and high school, but
I mean, it's very therapeutic. Actually, when he first started it, he hated it.
It's therapeutic after you get past a cursing phase where everything's horrible.
You know, where you're calling the machine things that make a sailor blush. That happens. So we're going to do the same thing again on this side. It's very warm. I'm going to zip through this real quick. Oh, that feels good. Hi, how are y'all doing? I'm Mistress Katarina. I'm actually showing how to make a tunic, which is like this here. So all this garb, the clothing I've made. The pink dress is our feast garb that a lot of the ladies wear. This shirt can be either a feast to an everyday wear. The gentleman behind you in the leather, everything he has on I've made, which is kind of like a warrior's garb. Oh, okay. Everything I have I've made. But we do a lot of different garb, and this is just a simple tunic to wear to fight in and play. I have tutorials, so if y'all want to look to see, you're welcome to see them. Come out. We're on Sundays at Drexel at 12 to 1. Come out and watch us play. We love to have an audience, and you'll get to see us in character and everything. It's really awesome. Come out. I know this Sunday we're actually having a food drive to